Hi everybody, Mark Michaels here, joined today with a PHC Trainer Profiler, Mr. Thomas Bray. Thomas, welcome, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
This one's been in the works for a while. We've been talking about doing this, and we finally got a chance here to sit down and kind of catch up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And so let's just get right into it. Let's dig into it. Let's talk about, where were you born?
Well, I was born in Houston, and then when I was 3 years old, we moved to Fulshear, and that's where I live. That's where we live now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
you went to school there, did all that?
Oh,
there,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We moved to Fulshear, and I went to elementary school there, and then there's a high school in the town next to us, and I went there.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to Wharton County Junior College for 3 years, and then I transferred to Sam Houston State, and I was there for 3 years and graduated there with the ag business, minor animal science.
So were you riding horses during that time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was. It's kind of a funny story. My dad told me. My dad traded a lot of horses, and we traded horses like all throughout my whole childhood and into college and everything. And I told my dad I was going to go to Sam Houston, and he told me, he says, "Well, I'll pay for the schooling, but I'm not going to pay for nothing else." So I had to trade horses and ride horses on the side and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
So what was your plan like when you were going to college? What was your kind of end goal there? What were you looking to kind of get into once you got out of college?
Well, previously to getting out, I wanted to have a good time, and I did. But my end goal was to graduate, and then I was going to be a horse trainer. I mean, I had it in my mind. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah. And so you get out of college, then what? Did you start working with your dad? Or?
Oh, no. It's kind of crazy. I guess I graduated in December, and I showed my first horse in a trainer's class in January.
There you go. Just jumped right in the deep end.
Jumped right in both feet. And if they told me today it would be this hard, I would tell them they're lying.
Yeah.
But everybody told me the truth.
Yeah. It's not an easy road, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
Well, you've steadily kind of climbed your way up the ladder, and you've been chipping away. So when did you? How long ago was that you first started, like as you went into being a trainer?
2009. I turned my card in.
Right.
Yes, sir. I showed it. I showed in the youth and showed in the non-pro. Hauled a couple years there in high school. Before high school, I started showing. I think I showed my first horse. My horse, he had King Ranch brand on him, so his name was Canuto Ray. I remember my dad bought him from a guy. Man, I don't remember who it was, but I showed, first time I ever showed, I think I was 7 years old.
Right.
And maybe 8 years old at Nueces Canyon.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they used to have a bunch of cuttings there. Constantine had them cuttings, and I remember going to showing there and showing Waller County, and showing at Blue Bonnet, which Blue Bonnet we still have cuttings there every month.
Yeah.
Still, yes, sir.
Well, cutting is strong down in that area, in Gonzales and Brenham and
Yes,
Blue
sir.
Bonnet. And
Yes, sir.
Washington County Fairgrounds there. So you've worked your way up the ladder steadily. You've been a pretty consistent Limited Open finalist here recently. You
Yes,
just
sir.
won the Brazos Bash Limited Open.
Yes, sir.
You were a Derby Open finalist, I believe. You made the Limited Open finals at both the Super Stakes and the Derby, and was reserve champion at the Derby. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Sure was.
So it's kind of been coming together for you recently, and now you were $176,000 before last night, and racked it up with a 219 last night, coming in second for that reserve championship.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Booyah.
Appreciate it.
Another was that $16,000 there,
Yes, sir.
and probably more importantly to you, an Open semi-finals for the very first time.
Oh, that's like,
How cool is that?
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
Yeah. What does that mean to you, to come here and you've steadily been working away at it, and now to have, you've been having some success, but haven't always had the horsepower to keep it going?
Well, man, ever since I was a little kid, came up here and seen a lot of people show, and to hear that crowd go crazy, I want that adrenaline rush.
It was pretty fun. I've watched you quite a bit and been cheering for you from the sidelines.
Yes,
and
sir.
last night, you had that look of determination on your face, and as soon as that buzzer went, you looked up at your help and you just started smiling, and you knew that you'd kind of put one down, didn't you?
Well, yes, sir. I had a little bobble there on that first cow, and I remember JR told me, he calls me Tomo.
Yeah.
He says, "Tomo, work the cow." And
Well, you do look like you want to jump off sometimes, just go jump on the cow. It's like,
well, I get a little bit over the top sometimes.
Well, that can happen, you know, with the excitement in this pen.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've come a long way. Just last year, talk a little bit about, you know, what happened last year after the Futurity here.
Well, you know, coming up to the Futurity, like I lost a lot of horses. Like right before the Futurity, I lost a bunch of them. And I think here last year, I don't know, I'm going to say I had 3 to 5 horses. I didn't have many at all. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was thinking about getting a job. And I mean, I just had to keep my faith and pray. And I think when I left here, I had 5 horses in training. And I want to say at the 1st of March, I had like 24 in training.
That's pretty cool.
It progressively, rapidly came, and but you know, I had some good owners, and good owners helped me, you know, and it's been a blessing, you know.
Well, these cutting horse owners, they're smart people, and they can spot talent, and they can see when there's an opportunity to get into a good program. You know, I've seen that happen time and time again.
Oh yeah, you know, and hey, and I'm a believer. You know, they come and go. I mean, we work for them.
Yep.
I mean, if they want to pick them up, they can pick them up. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, my dad's always told me and other people, hey, one door closes, another one's going to open.
Yeah.
You know, you lose 2 today, you're probably going to get 5 next week.
Yeah.
You know, or you hope to anyway.
Yeah. Well, and probably a big part of your program, obviously, and we all see it, is your wife Liz. She's your biggest supporter, and tell us about, you know, how does she have to keep you straight sometimes and keep you on the right track and keep you focused?
Well, if you know my wife, she's a pit bull in a Yorkie suit. She's pretty tough. She'll tell you what's on her mind. But man, she's great. She's a mom. She's a wife. Yeah. She works a full-time job. Drives back and forth all the time.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see.
Oh, she's one of a kind for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and so obviously you've got some other guys. You mentioned JR already, Jonathan Rogers, and talk about some of the mentors that have helped you along the way.
Man, we could go on and on and on, but Justin, probably the most people that have helped me the most in the last 10 years, I would say Justin White, Jonathan Rogers, Craig Thompson has helped me a lot, Mark Kelly, RL, Cullen. I mean, they've all helped me a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
You know, like from one little thing. I remember, hell, we were at a pre-work early in August or maybe September at Craig Thompson's, and I showed the mare that I did good on last night. Her name's Daisy, Expialidocious, actually. Hers is a registered name.
I'm gonna let you say that one.
Yeah. But man, even Brad Mitchell told me. He said, "Man, your mare looks really good, but you need to be up in that cow just a tick on that right side." And he told me, you know, just little things like that, people telling me, you know, watching my videos, of course. I mean, it's just, I can go on and on and on about, you know, the technology and the people that's helped me. I mean, I couldn't thank everybody enough. I mean, you know, that's why, I mean, I like to stay on everybody's good side, you know, because they're all my friends. And if I didn't mention their name, I apologize.
We'll add it on later in the comments.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back and talk a little bit about your mare. I'll let you say the name again, but she's a metallic cat out of Super Cadufragilistic.
There you go. That Cookie Benuelos showed, and I'm pretty sure Monty Button showed that mare a lot too out there on the West Coast. And man, I already had a big Futurity mare for Vince and Julie McBurney that I missed it on by a point. I missed the semifinals on by a point. But I needed another one. And Justin, he called me and says, "Hey, you know that Rome mare that we got, they want to sell it." And I said, "Well, I want to try her." And he called me, or I said, "Well, let me call this man, J Plus Ranches, Michael Johnson, and we'll get it lined up for him to come watch her."
Yeah.
I said, "But I'm gonna give you a verbal agreement right now. We'll buy her." And He says, okay. So that was like on a Thursday. Saturday, Mr. Johnson and I, we met over there at Justin's house. I tried the mare. I liked her. And I said, well, what'd you like, Mr. Johnson? He says, I'm not riding her. You are. He says, if you like her, buy her.
Yeah.
So we bought her.
Yeah.
And Dustin Gay had the mare for a good while. And then Dustin Gay had her, and then Justin got her. And then the people wanted to sell her. And that's how I ended up with her.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And talk a little bit about J Plus Ranches. This is their first Fort Worth Futurity.
This is their first Fort Worth Futurity horse. The mare that I showed at the early Futurities, Purdy Dirty Cash,
Yeah.
I bought from, we bought her from RL back right at the Super Stakes.
Right.
Right after the Super Stakes, we bought her from RL. And my goal was to take her to the small Futurities, and we had some success there on her. So they're 2 for 2 right now.
That's going to be hard to keep that record going.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir,
you got good horsepower. I mean,
well,
that's what it
they're
takes.
2 good horses, and they're both really cowy. And I think next year, I'm pretty sure Mr. Michael won't mind me going anywhere. So hopefully I can rack up some more winnings.
Yeah. Well, you're, like we talked about, you're breaking over that $200,000 mark in lifetime earnings now.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean for you? How does that, tap into the confidence in what you're doing?
Well, I guess not the money earning aspect, but just getting to go show. I think I was telling some guys a couple days ago, I think me getting to go show horses this year, and getting to go to the herd a lot, like I really found the mold, found the feel that I want, and I think before I wasn't getting to go show as much, or I was getting to show, but only getting to show once or twice a day.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was enough, because if I went on Friday and I didn't do no good, I didn't go back the rest of the weekend.
Right.
But now, since I kind of have a string of horses to go show, I think with me going and getting to go more and more, for young trainers, I think you have to do that to be able to get that mold and that feel that you want.
Yeah.
And I think for me, the more that I've gotten to go show is they have to be cowy. If they're not cowy, you can't win.
Yeah.
You cannot win.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. Another person's opinion might be different, but that's my opinion.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, you guys down in South Texas know how to have a little fun. We did a little Zoom with you and Justin and Craig.
Oh, yeah.
During
that
the
was during COVID. Yes, sir.
shutdown.
I remember that.
Yeah. Had a little fun with you guys down there.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the things you do when you're not training horses?
Well, everybody knows me, knows my wife. We go dancing if we're at home.
Yeah.
But I like to fish. I like to hunt.
Yeah.
I just love working too, though.
It's not work when it's fun, is it?
No. And I tell people all the time, we get to do this sport as a business, but for someone else's hobby.
Yeah.
That is like, wrap your mind around that. Like, we're getting to spend their money to do what we love and make a living at it.
Yeah. Shh. Don't tell everybody that.
No, well, it's just it's real. It's a pleasure, and if I've met great people. I've met my best friends in the world doing this business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I didn't do this business, I would never met them.
Yeah.
I would have never met them.
Yeah. What did your dad say when you called him and told him how good you did here?
Oh man, he's tickled.
He wasn't worried about that college education no more?
No, he wasn't worried about that at the time. No, sir. No, sir, not at all.
Well, that's great. Well, Thomas, we wish you all the success in the semifinals. I can't wait to cheer you on. There's going to be a lot of people cheering for you. And wish you all the best and hope to be talking to you again here soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.